What's good, man? It's your boy Juicy J, man. Shout out to Virtual Homework Podcast.
After a long hiatus, your favorite podcast, the Virtual Homework Podcast, is back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I keep dropping the ball. Seeing my family for the first time in 2 years after a rabid pandemic sweep the nation.
We actually saw each other. Me and little Sammy boy. We went and got some dinner, hung out a bit, and
Yeah, you didn't get the live
did some
podcast?
IRL.
Come on. I uploaded it. How
Wow,
come it
y'all
has 0
missed it.
views? Oh, wait, I uploaded it to a certain website.
But,
it was that kind of meeting. I'll say that much.
Oh, God. It was. That would explain, the cast I have on my arm,
Oh, my
I got
God.
a little crazy.
Jesus Christ. Not that.
No. I fractured my wrist. That's something that actually happened. And I have this, crazy, space-age cast that I can, undo and, unlock and, tighten. You can, hear, it, doing crazy shit.
I don't know if you've ever snowboarded, but it's like a snowboarder's boot. Legitimately.
Yeah, but it's
a lot of boots
a
are like
cast.
that.
It's, crazy.
Yeah, it is a cast.
Valves and shit. It's
the
Turbo
question I
Fister
have,
5000.
the question I have is that your gaming hand?
No, this is not my gamer hand.
All right, so who gives a shit, right?
Well, the problem is, there's two gamer hands. There's your main gamer hand, and then there's your secondary gamer hand. The problem is when you're doing
there's your
Wasid,
main gamer hand, and then there's your other gamer hand.
No, fuck you. There's the Wasid hand, but the problem is if I'm using Wasid, I how there's this thing right here, a lip. I hit Alt and Windows key as I'm playing shit. It's super fucking annoying and terrible and makes it very hard to game. So I'm just living it day by day. I flew off my bike and it really hurt. Did I actually tell you what happened?
I think you did, but I forgot about it because I'm a bad friend. And also, I shouldn't even said that. I think you did, but you should tell the audience how it happened.
So it was my first bike ride of the summer. I'm a huge cyclist, I spent $75 getting my bike fixed. I was all pumped, ready to go. I did about 10 miles. I was really excited. Was coming around the bend at the end of the street. My neighbor has a really high fence. So you can't see around the corner. I was coming around the corner, and he decided, and or she, to shovel all his excess gravel and wood chips into the street so it would be the city's problem and not him. And I went into it, skidded, and went flying and fractured my fucking wrist.
So the plus side about this, if we could say that there is any silver lining, is that I finally am going to flex myself as a lawyer. Dana doesn't know it yet, but I've already filed legal action against his neighbor. I will be representing him in court. But what he further doesn't know is that this is an elaborate prank, and I'm gonna get some viral content. I'm gonna film in the juror station. Is that what they call the court? The
juror station.
I forgot the name for a second. I'm gonna film some epic footage, some takedown footage of the judge and Dana, and we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see if we can go viral. We're gonna turn these apples into wine. I don't think that's the phrase. Whatever. Grapes.
What?
Grapes. I'm really fucking this up bad.
Apples into wine? Dude, let me tell you for a second how fucking terrible it is having a cast. I constantly put things in my left pocket, my keys or something, because you can put stuff in your pocket, but you can't get it out. But regardless of tragedy and tribulation, what did we do this week?
We
what
played
did
a game.
Play? This is a video game podcast.
This is a video game podcast, believe it or not. After a billion minutes of bike talk, I guess biking is gaming. In fact, I have a Peloton. I know a lot of people have these virtual
I
exercise
actually genuinely
bikes.
wish I had one. They look really fun.
They are pretty fun, but I think you might be better. There's you could get a regular bike and mount it to some I forget the exact name of it, but there's one where you could just mount a regular bike indoors and it has games you could play on that. So you might want to look into that.
I actually saw that. It was an ad on Twitch and it looked really fucking cool. Actually, I might actually look into it.
Yeah, well, this is a gaming podcast and we have to talk about all types of gaming, even exercise games. But I will say,
we actually played something a little bit different this week. What did we play?
Well, before I get into what we played, I will say that we somehow both persevered. I had a much more difficult time than Dana, visiting my family, just, having an all-around good time, not really by my computer, not able to play games. But I came back, day after I came back, just ground out as much of this game as I could. he was, in pain, constantly moaning, screaming in agony as he tried to slave away for this podcast they forced him to do against his will.
Yep.
And we ended up playing
what?
Metro 2033 Redux, which I guess it's a little bit different in a couple ways. One, this was your pick, but it wasn't really your pick. You actually decided that you, for the first time, were going to take a viewer pick. So shout outs to... Who are they on TikTok?
So this game was suggested by that one weirdo you hate on TikTok. He said play Metro 2033 Redux. So shout out to him. This one's for you.
Yeah, and I will say that this is our first and probably not last viewer suggestion. I will say, we didn't say oh, we need to do a viewer suggestion. You're like, you know what? I don't really know what to pick this week. I'm gonna pick this because it looks interesting and a viewer suggested it. It's a little dangerous, though, right? You might get one of your favorite games shat on entirely by us, which we'll get into that in a second. But I also will say that this is a different experience, that we don't really play that many full-on first-person shooters, and that's what this is. Do you want to go a little bit into what this game is?
Yeah, so this is a first-person shooter. It's a Metro 2033 Redux, which actually is a remake of a game from 2013, which is actually a game based on a book of the same name, Metro 2033. You play in apocalyptic Russia. Some apocalyptic event has happened where demons took over and monsters and stuff like that. And you play as Artovi. Fuck, I forgot the guy's name.
I
Artem. That you're
only
just
know that
traveling.
I went to high school with a guy named Artem, and I was like, "Oh, I know that guy." I just pretended it was him the entire time.
You spend the game basically traveling through the metro system of the subway, trains, whatever, of apocalyptic Russia, trying to just figure out what's going on in the world, trying to find your buddy, and so on and so forth, and see where things go. What's cool about this game is it actually gives you two options right when you start the game. For one, you can play it as survival, or you can play it as, I think it's Hunter, where either you can play it as a survival horror game where you have low health, enemies do more damage, it's a lot darker and a lot scarier, or you can play it in a mode where it plays like a Call of Duty where you just mow everything down, they give you a shit ton of ammo, and I think that's kind of cool. You can kind of choose how you want to play this game. How'd you choose?
I think I may have made I didn't realize how different the game played out. I have literally one of the points here in that I don't like when games give me limited ammo. I just like to go guns blazing. And here I am.
You literally should have just picked the other mode.
I guess I picked the wrong mode. I think I was on the survival mode. I think I read something about one of the modes. I'm like, that doesn't sound right for me. But I think I must have misread it or something. Maybe I am gotten really bad at reading after reading that Bell and Wonderworld book.
You probably would have really liked the other mode because you just fucking mow everything down. They give you a shit ton of ammo.
I don't know. So the thing is, this game, I think, was doomed to fail on my front. First-person shooters are probably my least favorite genre of video game, so in that regard, I think it really depends on the story, because honestly, the gameplay isn't going to be doing that much for me. In that regard, I thought the story was okay. I think that you played down the post-apocalyptic aspects. It's not really an exploration game that you're exploring the tunnels. Really, it's your quest to find your friend who left the tunnels for a mission, and you're basically going with people on mercenary missions as you fight and mow down zombies or whatever, mutated forms of human beings. They call them the further evolution as humans as they attack you and try to wipe out the human race. So you're going through the tunnels, you're often going above ground. It's a radioactive mess, and you're kind of just shooting your way from place to place, or being a survival horror from place to place. You get what I'm saying.
Well, I think that's kind of cool. You can kind of choose how you want to play the game. I personally think that I wish I played the other way, because the survival horror didn't really do it for me. Like you said, you don't really have much ammo and stuff like that. Did you play with mouse and keyboard or controller?
I played with mouse and keyboard, but I actually had a lot of difficulty playing this game at all. I'll get into the gameplay and a little bit more of the gripes I had there. But I don't know what my playtime is. I played a lot more than I think it says 88 minutes, and part of the reason why I did that is because I think it's
on yours it says 2.4 hours when I looked at it.
Okay, so I think I was able to play it for a little bit, but the first thing I noticed when I tried playing this game was that it just wouldn't. It would start, but every single time I opened it, it would just minimize, and some other people were having this issue. Basically, I troubleshooted this game for almost an hour and a half trying to get it to run, being like, oh god. I can't play this game. What the hell is going on? Basically, the only way I was able to get this to run after like extreme trial and error is I had to download like the NVIDIA like control deck and run it with very specific settings. But
Oh God.
when I ran it like that, the game ran fine, but I guess there was like this, it had like a weird way of like, you know when like you go from like left to right or like up, like the camera moves in a specific way, but the way that like this NVIDIA control panel worked, it was like very, very slightly choppy and like a weird motion that like, it made me literally sick. I've never gotten violently ill from a video game than this game. I mean, like the thing is, I know that you have a lot of issues with motion sickness, especially with video
I
games.
had zero issues starting this game, and it ran at like a buttery smooth, like 140 FPS, like the entire fucking time.
And I'm not trying to brag in this regard. I have better specs than you, so like I don't see why there would be any issues of like me having like frame rate drops or anything like that. I think the game is just, as you mentioned before, you have like middle of the road specs, so the games on PC are probably optimized for your setup versus my setup.
I have a 1080 Ti, so it's like I have like the most like, what's the word, like when people look at computers, like this is what they're building games for.
Yeah, I guess common is the right word, but
yes, yeah. I have a very common setup.
So not only is this like the game genre I don't like, but it's also one of the only games that has made me, actually probably the only game on the podcast that has made me physically ill to play. Like I remember the first hour I played, I'm like, did I have bad food? Because I literally, as soon as I stopped playing it, I had such bad nausea that I just immediately went to sleep. And it was like 9 p.m. or something like that. And it's like, okay, that something's weird. I'm like, I guess I just ate something that was bad. And then like it happened the next day, and I'm like, okay, this is not going to be good for me.
Other than that, the gameplay is pretty par for the course for like first-person shooter. It's going to have the same controls as every first-person shooter you've ever played. Shift to run, WASD to move, 1, 2, 3, 4 to change through your weapons. Melee is going to be V. Look at your inventories or whatever is different. Like it's like M this time for whatever reason. Control is the crouch, space jump, and then, left click, right click to shoot. What I didn't like about the shooting is that in most games, like right clicking, you like pull your weapon up or like go down the scope, but for like some guns, like right click shoots as it does left click, so I would just like waste guns, waste ammo and stuff like that, which the point of this game is that bullets are like currency in this world, so it's like wasting ammo is like a serious problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even aim with like the sight most of the time. I just shot enemies when they got really close to me.
Okay, I mean, I guess I play like a lot of first-person shooters and stuff like that. Like I basically play Counter-Strike every fucking day. Even though if it's surfing, I'm still like aiming down a sight of a gun and stuff like that. So I'm used to like aiming and that kind of thing as far as controls go. This game is too fucking dark. I literally couldn't see any of the enemies, and it was like really like difficult. Like this game is really like positive reviews, but it's like a solid like 5 or 6 out of 10 for me. Like it's nothing special, it seems.
Well, I will say that you've fallen for the most fatal mistake in gaming, and that like I feel like every single game wants it to like enemies to pop out at you every single time. This game had one too. There's a calibration screen at the beginning, like make it so it's dark. Like this make it so this hand on the screen barely appears because it wants you to like calibrate your brightness. I always do max. I don't care if like something is gonna like that was supposed to pop out at me like no longer pops out at me. I feel like I'd rather just be able to see where I'm going. So
yeah, I also have boomer eyes, so it's like
I think I actually have bad night vision too. Wow, we're fucking old men.
I like that's the thing is like I have generally bad like night vision. I used to be able to see like in the dark really well. Like I suck at it. So like anything that's like dark, I'm like, oh, what's going on here, Sonny?
Let's make sure you don't ride a bike in the dark. We don't want 2 broken fractured wrists.
I like exclusively ride my bike in the dark.
Well, okay, I think we figured out it's gravel. It's not like you're gonna be able to see it anyway. But
yeah.
But I will say that like I guess I'm technically a game reviewer, and it's kind of lame that as a game reviewer I'm not able to tell the nuance from like this game and any other shooters, but I don't play this genre so much that like I genuinely can't tell what is a good shooting mechanic and what isn't a good shooting mechanic. My favorite shooter is Army of Two, so that should say much. I guess it's a third person versus first person game, but I know
shooting
that
isn't terrible. Like the gun mechanics aren't awful. This game seems like it's going off of like the 2013 everything's trying to be Fallout, so it's like everything's like post-apocalyptic, the guns are makeshift and stuff like that. You can upgrade guns and things like that.
To be fair, like this game was actually from 2013, so it fit the time. I
It just
agree
feels
with
very
you.
dated.
I agree with you, and like, sure, this is the Redux version, so it's like the remastered version, I guess. But the graphics still do look dated. They don't look as dated as the game from 2013. The actual gameplay is mediocre, and I'm gonna say that the plot has some
And the
interesting
dialogue
elements.
is so
It's
fucking
cringy.
terrible.
It's very
like
cringy. It's like,
and it's like the faces are like ba ba da 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 da. Like,
in fact,
it's just
I noticed a lot of the time they were like massively delayed. Like, I felt like people would like do stuff and have actions before the actual voices got there. Maybe that was just my setup. I'm at a point where I genuinely couldn't tell if it was someone like faking a Russian accent or just like a bad voice actor. And I don't know. I feel
Could
like a
be
lot of
both.
these, it could be both. If you're a bad voice actor that's Russian, but you're also faking a Russian accent, that's a little weird. But I don't know. Like, the voice acting was A, cliche, B, sounded like bad Russian.
it's like hey, Tovik, why don't you come over here and not drink out the vodka?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's
a
like
character was literally named Bourbon. So
yeah, like it's just like, hey, you fucking asshole, you owe me money, don't you? Like that kind of shit.
yeah, the thing is, I thought the actual like world had some interesting elements. It wasn't like generic. Like,
No,
there were a lot of cliche elements. Like, I'm gonna spoil the very beginning of the game, so watch out for the next 5 seconds here. But like, the first thing you did in this game was they forced death, which, I mean, that's like the most cliche thing you could do in a video game.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even Resident Evil 8 Village did that, and people generally consider that a good game. So like, that is what it is. I mean, like, cliche nuclear holocaust like sort of plot, and I don't know. Like, I thought there were some cool elements that, like, honestly, I feel like I'd have a much better time reading the book for this game, and I kind of was like, I
Yeah,
wonder what this
right.
book is like. But I wonder if it's in
Because
like, Russian or something.
I like the subject matter. Like it is somewhat interesting to me. Like I would like to see it like from a book format of like, you know, his trials and tribulations going through from like place to place and stuff like that. And in between each stage, like each like little area is like its own stage, whether it's a town or traveling somewhere or like a base or something. They do like a little narration of like what the character's thinking, what its motivation and things like that. It's kind of interesting.
And that's what I actually found the most, like, I found being in the towns and the actual world building aspect, like, you can't talk to a lot of people. In fact, it is pretty linear in terms of a story, but like, you could still like interact. Like, you just go up to someone, it's like, you can't come here for X and Y, and it's like, it's fun to like interact with the characters.
Oh yeah, like
And-
almost every NPC like would like react or talk to you. Like there'd be like people standing around places like talking, having conversations, talking about the world. They definitely spent time like world building.
Yeah, and they spent time making this game too. Like, it doesn't have an indie polish to it. I will say that like this game, like in terms of like the polish, I don't think it's polished, and that this game's broken as shit, at least on my setup. I encountered so many glitches. I encountered a literal game sequence breaking thing. I had to like restart like an area
I had
from the start.
multiple glitches. There was a point where I went downstairs and fell through the floor, and I had an alligator eat me, and I had to restart. I was like, okay.
There was a point. Actually, how far did you get?
I got to like the bandit base, and then was like trying to get the guy through, and then you know whatever happens, and then I got to the next part.
Okay, you actually got to the literal same place as me. That's around like 2 to 3 hours, about 3 hours into the game, right?
Yeah, 2 to 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's right after you got to Moscow, right?
Yep.
That's right. I played the game, but no, like there's an area before that where you basically have to follow the character with Bourbon, and he's like shooting monsters while you're following him, and you're supposed to go through the sequence where you follow him, and then eventually like it'll trigger you like go in this like train, and then the train falls, and then like from there you're going to be able to like advance to the next area. But I just like went without him. I'm just like, you know what, I could get through these enemies, and I did get through the enemies, but it triggered an autosave, but it also triggered a sequence break, and that I couldn't get back to him. Like, there literally was no path back, and every single time I died, I would save to him, and he wouldn't come closer because I wasn't close enough to him, so I had to, like, restart, like, way further back, just due to the fact that, like, the game had a terrible game-breaking glitch. So that was fun.
I found a lot of that kind of stuff where it's like, you know, people falling through floors, things like that, like enemies like not spawning, things like that, which it's typical for like this is a smaller team. I don't know what other games they've done, but
they've done a sequel to this game and the remake to this game, and I think maybe one other game.
Yeah.
So it's basically just this series.
Like I said, there's a decent amount of positive reviews. I think it's because people think fondly of like when they played it when they were younger, and so it's like the same reason I like Jet Moto and you like, you know, other games and stuff like that.
Super Magnetic Neo. Should I do the Super Magnetic Neo voice again?
Yes, you should.
Super Magnetic Neo.
Cringe.
Okay, I'm not gonna. Yeah, it's cringe. I'm gonna stop. I think people are sleeping in this house, and it's. Well, anyway, I think that the positive
I did
reviews.
have fun playing it though.
Yeah, the thing is, I had no fun playing it because I just felt violently ill the entire time in a genre that I hate.
Now you know how I feel playing. What was it? Space Giraffe.
Yeah, but I definitely think that if you are into this type of game, you are going to enjoy it. Like, it's just not my type of game. The complaints that I saw from it were warranted, and that, like, I feel like most people who gave it a negative review or, like, said this game is good, but were talking about how broken it was. And I think that the game was, it was $15 or $20. It's worth it at that stage. Like, for if you're into first-person shooters.
Yeah, it's like an 8-hour game with, like, completionist stuff. Like, for $15, like, why not, right?
Yep, it scratches that itch. It's just not my itch. It's an itch on a ugly.
You might need some special cream for that itch.
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to make a really weird analogy here. What else?
Gonorrhea.
Is new? Gonorrhea.
So I bought this candy off fucking line that was like supposed to be like Altoids Sours.
Off fucking line?
They're not like the Altoids Sours. They're good, but like
I'm just like imagining what fucking line entails.
Fuck you, dude. I got snacks today.
All right, so Chester fries. Pretty good, but they're nowhere near Flamin' Hots. Can you give a food review right now? Can you eat one of those Altoids Sours and give me a little taste? Like, you know that like 9,000 taste buds guy?
I really want one of these.
Okay, eat a Cheeto fry and then have an Altoid Sour and let's just like have
I'm
a
like
bad
eating
flavor
Cheetos and coffee. I literally used to drink one of these and a Monster and smoke a cigarette every single day before high school.
How are you alive? The thing is, Cheeto fries are just like a drier Cheeto.
Oh, so good.
You can't impress me with Cheeto fries.
I was a hot
those
Cheeto.
Are Flamin' Hot, extra hot. Actually, those taste exactly the same.
They do, but they're good. I prefer these.
Andy Caps if you're going the fry route.
These are way better than Andy Caps.
Yeah, actually, that's true. But I remember getting Andy Caps from the vending machine and thinking they were cool.
Oh my god! Like I actually haven't had these for like 4 years. It brings her back.
Do you remember those like tiny little 33-cent bags at Jewel-Osco? Those were dope. They used to be 25 cents, and they made them 1 for $3. They could probably be 50 cents now. I have no idea.
They're probably like 75 cents now.
Yeah, that's inflation.
Did your parents ever used to get like the giant thing of chips?
I don't know what giant means.
Like the big bag with like all of the little bags in it.
Oh yeah, no, they didn't. No.
Oh my god, when was the last time you had these? Be honest.
Probably 5 years ago.
Go grab a thing of these and tell me they're not good.
Only if you do one thing, and I know that your palate is not cleansed. Can you give me a Altoid Sour knockoff review right now? Explain for the people what these are.
Like, don't even cleanse my palate and just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Get that Cheeto sour breath.
For those that don't know, I would for Altoids Sours, my favorite candy of all time. It has disappeared in the land of time because they were like supremely sour. They would hurt your mouth. Like probably they didn't sell well, but like there's like a small like group of people on the internet who want these. So I've been searching, looking for lookalikes, and this company claims they're doing one that's like it. It's Chess Bros out of Thomasville, North Carolina.
Show them to the camera.
They do handmade kettle cooked candies. I got sour tangerine, sour mango, sour grape, sour apple.
You went all out. You weren't doing like a little bit of taste. You were just like,
no.
You know
I mean, I wanted candy, and they had like sour gummy worms, which were some of the best sour. I want candy, bubblegum or taffy.
So they had really good sour gummy worms?
Oh, they were some of the best I've ever fucking had. They're so good. Like I would actually suggest buying them if you like sour. Like they're actually sour octopuses. But they were so fucking good.
Okay, those are even better. Like you should lead with that.
Yeah, they were fucking delicious.
But you're saying you've already had one of these and you didn't like it? Was a different flavor?
Oh, I like them. They're good. It just like they're just different.
They don't
like
satisfy the itch.
They're like kettle cooked candy.
They look like an Altoid Sour, like legitimately.
It's like 10% of the sour of that. So
okay, they probably legally can't make it that sour. I saw a pucker. I saw a pucker in that face.
Like candy, they don't make sour candy like anymore. Like anything that says sour, like there's like
it's
Warheads,
basically just
but that's
sweet.
like this is more sweet than sour. Looks good though.
There we go. That was the review.
Strawberry is really the best yogurt.
The thing is, I just don't like any fruit at the bottom yogurt. I think they all suck.
Yeah, I don't really like it. Like I would prefer just like plain yogurt with like no like fruit in it.
The best yogurt's like the Fage Greek yogurt, but not like the big tub, the one that comes with like the little thing of honey.
I can't do Greek yogurt. Consistency is like cottage cheese. It makes me feel gross.
Are you racist? Do you have something against the country of Greece?
Well, no, I just don't like the consistency. I'm a huge like texture guy. Like that's like most of my pickiness with food is because it's texture.
I mean, what's your opinion on game textures?
This game doesn't have it.
That's a fair point, but I'm not talking about this game in general. What do you think tastes better? A high-def game? I don't know where I'm going with this. I actually do have a topic to bring up. And this is a bit of a hypothetical as you like have your entire face smeared with yogurt. I want to bring up something very
I mean, it's
serious.
not smeared. I can smear it with yogurt.
You can smear it with yogurt. Please don't. You're not going to want to smear it with yogurt when you hear this mind-bending topic. I was talking with someone about this very subject today, and I am genuinely curious what your opinion on this would be. It's not really an opinion. It's whether or not you could do it. Hypothetically, if you were like told by the U.S. government that you had to get me to post a picture of just my balls, not my balls and face, to the internet associated with me by the end of the year, or else you would go to jail for 15 years, and you also would not be able to tell me that this scenario is happening, could you do it?
To get you to?
Yeah.
Like, I would have to get you.
Like, hypothetically, if you don't get me to post a picture of my balls to the internet, and I, in this scenario, have to also, like, I have to, like, post a photo to Facebook and say, these are my balls, like, something like that. And you can't tell me that you're going to go to prison if you don't do this. Do you think you could do it by the end of the year?
Okay, so like, would I have to have like a full picture of your balls and face in one picture?
No face, just the balls.
I think I could. I actually
could?
genuinely think I could. Yeah. So like, I would do it like.
Be?
So it would be like really esoteric, so like some sort of meme, because we've already done like goatsy things. You literally took like the virtual homecast homework podcast thing and put goatsy into it. So I just have to like make your like somehow like work your testicles like some super esoteric meme that you would just like actually like do it to. Like, does it have to be like the entire testicle? Does it have to be like the texture of it, or like just like a plain out ball sack?
It has to be a picture of my balls. Interpret that as you will, but like
I think I would go like the meme route, like try to do like something like really random, like I don't know, like try to get like Peter Griffin's like chin, but you'd have to like put your balls like,
but
like oh I can't.
But in this scenario, you would have to be like, hey, we need a picture of your balls specifically.
No, I wouldn't do it like that. Like if I had an entire year, like I would just like send.
No, you only have 4 months.
You said, I thought, fuck, that might be tough. I might be trying to send you like meme formats
You think you could get me to post a picture of my own ball sack in a meme and own it in a year?
I'm not saying I could, but that's just, I think that's like the safest route to do it. I would send you enough like meme formats like nonchalantly where like it would come into fruition where you would end up putting your balls like. Why? I mean, I've posted my balls multiple times to people, so.
Why?
Someone pissed me off in my guild's Discord, so I wrote their bitch on my ball sack and sent it to them.
Jesus Christ, I was gonna say the world of WoW, the world of Warcraft. It is quite crazy. I didn't know it's like a frat in there. But I'm like,
well, I mean, it is like a frack based on everything that's going on nowadays.
Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second. That's a good segue, but I want to continue on this subject. You posted your balls on the internet? This is the thing you've just done? Gee, I have a crazy.
I added it to like the entire Discord of like 300 people.
Jesus Christ! I personally do not think. Now, okay, in this scenario, I'm not aware of this potential challenge from the U.S. government. But one, I don't think that you'd be able to do it in a year. At least with this method. And two, do you think that if you were facing 15 years in prison, you wouldn't go like a little bit more urgent? You wouldn't be like, oh my god, you're gonna be going nonchalant. Meme.
Just because I know you specifically, I don't think if I was like, dude, I need your balls, like right, like that would never work for you. Like it would have to be like in a casual format. We'd probably get a little bit drunk. I think would probably be the best way to do it, and just like let's get like drunk after a podcast. Like let's hang out. Like let's do it early on a Saturday. We just go back and forth, getting like increasingly crazier and crazier memes. Like
increasingly, we're getting into like dangerous territory. You got extreme memes, and we're getting more and more extreme. And all of a sudden, I'm posting my dick on the internet.
Yeah, I mean that's like
I guess
really
I didn't say dick. I said balls.
So let me ask you though, would it just like you have to like post it somewhere, or could you send it to me then I could post it somewhere?
No, I have to post it somewhere.
Oh, so just sending it to me isn't good enough?
No, it has to be like publicly me. It doesn't. I don't know. It could be like a Picante profile, or it could be like a Facebook profile.
I'll make like a website that's like rateyourballs.com.
That probably already exists. They have Rate My Shit or whatever it's called. Like rate this little bear guy I have over here that looks like a giant turd in this lighting. No one knows what I'm talking about unless they watch the video episode. But like, I personally think that you'd have significantly better luck if you were like, dude, I need a picture. I need you to post a picture of your balls to the internet. This is really serious, and I can't tell you why, but you need to do it. And if you like kept pressing me on it, if you kept saying like, you really need to do this, you really
I
need
don't
to
think
do
so.
this.
I think we're thinking about this in a poke talk where it's like like we know this situation, you know this situation. Like we really can't have this conversation under the assumption that I can't tell you this. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like you're thinking under the parameters of you already know that I need to do this. You're thinking like, oh yeah, just press me. I really don't think you would like. I think you would actually genuinely get weirded out. I don't think you would if I was like that.
I
you
would definitely
like,
get weirded out, but at the same time,
I don't think under any circumstance you would ever post your balls. I think you would just get like really weirded out and just like it would like wreck the podcast. Like we would just like probably like stop talking or something like that. Or like it just, like because if
we
like
stop talking, I cut you off. Like you're sending me like letters. Like please, I beg of you, post your balls to the internet.
I think you would just get so weirded out where you would just like find like reasons not to like talk to or like engage with me and stuff like that. So that's why I feel like the casual like meme route is like truly the only way about it.
I guess like I understand that in this scenario, like you can't tell me about it and I don't know about it, and maybe I'm not like thinking like about this hypothetical. Like why is he asking about this? He must like. Really,
well, it's easier to me to
prison.
It's easier to me think of this hypothetical because I'm trying to get you to do it. It's like you're just thinking how you would react. You know what I mean?
But at the same time, I know you like when you're genuine. Like if you were like genuinely like I was like, dude, it's not sexual.
I think that would weird you out even more.
But yeah, but if you were like genuine, like, dude, it's not sexual. I just really need you.
That would never work. I think my route's the way to go. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know if I could do it. If I had a full year, maybe.
Okay, maybe.
I would just have to. In 4 months, I don't know. I can't promise that. That's actually an extremely difficult thing to do. Yeah.
Okay. The thing is, I was gonna like reverse it as well and ask you whether or not I think that I could do this to you. I think I could do this to you in like 5 minutes. Apparently,
yeah.
If I'm just like. Dude,
because
post your balls online. I mean, no wonder you are.
Cause the problem is when people are like, "You're not gonna fucking do it." I don't give a fuck. I'll just do it. Like that's how this stuff usually ends up like in like our Wildga and stuff like that. They're just like, yeah, they're just like, you won't do it.
I'm gonna get you to like commit armed robbery by the end of the night.
Well, not like that, but like
if your guildies can pressure you into this stuff. And this is a WoW microcosm.
Well, it's not like pressuring me. It's just like
it's like in Back to the Future when he's like, oh, he never backs down from a fight, you know. And the fight in this case, you win it by showing your balls publicly. I mean, if it is what it is. Speaking of showing your balls publicly, I mean, I guess I don't know of any specifics here about showing balls publicly, but we can't have a possibly better transition into this. The situation at Blizzard is
oh god
not good.
It is not good.
It is not good. I know we've been gone for 2 weeks, and I know that like obviously this is not something that's gonna blow over in 2 weeks. But in the past 2 weeks,
it just keeps getting worse and worse, like straight up.
It's not even that it's getting like that much worse. It's like the fallout from the event is like actually taking place in a serious manner. J. Allen Brock left the company. I don't know how long he was at the company. I'm gonna guess like 20 years since the inception or something like that. Maybe.
A long time. Yeah.
Yeah, and he was really the face of WoW, right?
No, not really, and stuff like that. He was just like head of like Blizz and stuff like that. It's like the problem with the faces of WoW. There are a million people that were faces of WoW, which is they've all like left. You know, like Jeff Kaplan.
I think I confused him with Jeff Kaplan,
stuff like that
in this scenario,
and stuff like that, and you know, multiple people that are faces. It just one after another. It just these CEOs are going down, for sexual harassment, like all this horrible stuff. Do we get into it last time about like how like heinous it got and stuff? Or
I think we did. It was 2 weeks ago, but that was like when this stuff was really dropping. So we definitely talked about it. In a relatively detailed manner. There really haven't been that many like specific details like outside the initial like heinous ones that are worthy of discussion, but it's just like the fact that J. Allen Brock left. We saw that employee walk out. We're seeing a mass
Mass exodus.
A Mac exodus. No one is coding on
Mac
Mac anymore.
exodus. You haven't seen it. You haven't said it right once.
No, I said mass. I said mass exodus.
Okay,
But
there you
anyway, yeah, there was a mass exodus by employees. Many people are leaving the company. We're seeing like
investors are suing them over like
that
them
happens
not-
every single time though that there's like any like
Well, because they didn't let them know. There's like the walkout. Like there's like the Zoom meeting where they're doubling down on like the you see the what's the woman's name? Fran Townsend, who is like getting completely shit on Twitter, who like doubling down on like, oh, this is like heinous, this doesn't exist, blah blah blah, like the Activision like part of this. Just everyone on Twitter shitting on her to the point where she had to like delete her Twitter. It's
yeah,
pretty,
I mean honestly, like I understand that if you are a large representative, you need Twitter in some way. Like you can't be a CEO of a game company and not utilize Twitter in some regard. But like I feel like a lot of these places would be better if like I get it. You can't have no Twitter. That's just not an option, especially if you're in a social media role like a head of director. But you could be inactive on Twitter. People will forgive you if you're inactive on Twitter. I feel like that's the best route at this point.
The problem with her, they call her like the torture woman because she was on Fox News like defending like Trump torture and stuff like that. So it's like all this like political stuff. She was like working in politics before she got elected to the board on Activision. But there's actually a funny thing about that. People are saying that she's just like the downfall for someone else who's just like slowly creeping away, who was like the big problem, so everyone focuses on her.
Well,
And,
I will say like torture is good for Activision, right? Because how are they going to make like storylines for Call of Duty?
Oh god.
No, that was a terrible joke. At the same time, like playing a Call of Duty game is actually torture. I mean, as you could probably tell from my opinions on what is this Metro Redux 2033. I'm not a huge fan of shooters, especially Call of Duty. But on to any other subject.
No, I got more like on Blizzard. Like they're losing sponsorships from their Overwatch over this, like, which isn't surprising. Overwatch and any other esports haven't been profitable, and it just like goes back on like their sexist culture and stuff like that. And there's like another thing about this though, is that people are like, oh, Blizzard, they were industry defining, they were this, they were that. But mind you, when all those games came out, this was when all that culture was happening. So these games could have been defined by that, frat boy culture was the reason behind a lot of these games.
Yeah, like
so
looking back on even like some of the more innocent arguments, like when Overwatch came out. Do you remember like the Tracer presenting argument where it's like, ass,
and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I mean, like, I'm talking, like, even, like, before that, like, the heydays of, like, Warcraft 3, like, Diablo 2 and stuff like that. Like, you're not gonna, like, we come from the old internet. There's no, like, any game development back in the day was probably 10 times worse than anything that is reported in this right now. It's just that stuff right there weren't cell phones, there weren't recordings and everything like that.
There was 4chan, though. And I bet a lot of those developers were on 4chan.
Oh, absolutely.
And that isn't necessarily a death sentence, but I'm just saying, like, the actual culture surrounding it is definitely a bro.
And this was probably something that was industry-wide as well. Like, I guarantee you, like, all over the industry, all over all the things, they were probably just as heinous, if not worse. It's not recorded because it's from the old internet.
Yeah, I mean, there literally was a meme back in the day that there are no girls on the internet. Like, we're talking, like, early 2000s. And, like, that was
all dudes.
Yeah. No, but, like, they also, like, they were just saying, like, oh, you're a girl? That's a lie. There's no girls on the internet. It's like, oh, I guess I'm not going to join this boys club that definitely exists in the gaming world specifically. But yeah, I mean, like, of course, this culture is pervasive at Blizzard. I mean, like, you're even seeing, I think it was Ubisoft in solidarity with Blizzard had their own walkout, telling people to like look into Ubisoft's like culture and stuff like that. I mean, gaming is definitely a male-dominated space, even if there has been a lot of effort for female inclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Blizzard is so bad for them. I can't stress enough how bad it is. It's like tired at this point how bad it is. We keep talking about it, but it's so big we can't not talk about it.
Well, it's just getting worse and worse. Like they're literally like, forcing sexual favors on them from like executives, like people that walked out, to the point where like employees are killing themselves over it. It's absolutely horrible.
But this is like one of those like don't know your heroes too well or something like that. I feel like when we're gonna go deeper into this, it's going to be an industry-wide problem.
I think it's only going to get worse and worse. So we're going to find these people getting worse and worse. What makes me the most upset is all like all these ex Blizzard people that quit like long time ago are like, oh, like I can't believe this happened. It was so bad. When it's like these were the motherfuckers that were all involved in it. They were like literally in the pictures of the Cosby Suite. Like they were all in that kind of shit. And it's just kind of disgusting how they're just kind of throwing like the current management to the wayside and not taking any responsibility.
Kotick is literally on the Epstein flight log. People have been putting
no. So that's two different things. What that refers to is that like anyone he's ever called in his life could be on there. So his like maid could be on there, or like if he got his pants tailored one time at some place in Pittsburgh, that's going to be like on there. So it's like that's not really anything.
It's not a good look when your entire company has a massive sexual harassment scandal.
Well, it's not only that Bobby Kotick literally has his own sexual harassment scandals from like years and years ago anyway. So it's like you could just go that route.
Yeah. But again, innocent until proven guilty. I don't think Bobby Kotick cares what I have to say. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, so that's probably not a good look anyway.
The biggest news is actually, like we said, the president of Blizzard actually like left, like straight up. Like you said, J. Allen Brack left the company. He's been there for a while, and the two new people that are taking over are, one second.
Yeah, they're being listed as like co-leaders, right?
So it's Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra, which I'm actually looking forward to Mike Ybarra becoming a lead of this. He's someone they've both been in the industry forever. But the thing I noticed about Mike Ybarra is he actually plays these games at an extremely high level. I feel like most executives don't play these games nowadays. Mike Ybarra is constantly on Twitter, like posting like, oh, this is like WoW talk. He's like, oh, I have all Mythic plus 20s are done. That's like the top like 0.001% of people do this. This is fucking hard. This is like stuff I don't even have done, like he's a serious like hardcore gamer, which is that's important to me to see someone that high up that plays and understands these games like he does. And that's really cool to me. I'm really hoping to see better things out of it.
I mean, I don't think it's just cool. I think it's honestly necessary. Like you see companies like Nintendo, like Iwata was like primo gamer. He's like, I'm a gamer. And then,
well, that's why the games are good.
And then like Reggie was like, I'm going to go play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo 3DS, right? Or was that it? I forget the game exactly. But no,
see, I think that's a good argument though, because he's like a casual player, and so they're making games for like casual people that he can enjoy. So it's like, but Blizzard, I think, is a little bit more hardcore in their games. So it's like it's good to have people like in the industry that actually play it. Because I feel like a lot of these companies are pretty faceless and don't have poo poo pee pee caca doo doo.
Keep going.
Poo poo pee pee caca doo doo. Pee pee poo poo doo doo caca pee 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 pee. Can we switch it up for a second?
Yeah, sure.
So I got a whole bunch of packages from Amazon. If you want me to open them, if you can guess what I got.
Can we actually go into something else before I do that?
Oh my God, what?
I'm just scared that like, and I know this is incredibly selfish of me. I still play Blizzard games. I still play Hearthstone. I just feel like a piece of shit while I do it. I'm just scared at this rate they're not going to have a BlizzCon. And I'm pretty much certain.
Could you imagine the shit show that BlizzCon would be, though?
No, that's the thing.
Oh my God.
That's the thing. That's the thing.
Fuck. And they can't not have one because that'll look even worse.
No, but that's the thing. Well, actually, they probably have a buffer year. They have a buffer year because of COVID. They can still say mass gatherings, especially in California, are not going to happen. Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised, especially since they already announced
But like 2022, could you make like if they have to have one?
No, 2022. I think they announced they were going to have an online one like early in the year. So I think 2023 is going to be the earliest one, regardless.
Jesus Christ!
I just remember that like before there was like Diablo Immortal, and I was like, oh, they can't have it. Like, what are they going to do at BlizzCon? Man, it's going to be so bad. And then it's like the Blitzchung stuff happened. It's like, oh my God, BlizzCon's going to be so clusterfuck. And now it's like those are just tiny tiny little microscopic specks.
It's going to be an ever living shit show. Speaking of Diablo Immortal, we just found out it got delayed to 2022, and people are like, fuck it, whatever.
Yeah, it's funny because I've started posting the TikToks to YouTube, and they've been gaining some traction. And like the past couple of days, I've gotten like the Diablo Immortal one got some traction before, and everyone hated it because, like I said, Diablo Immortal doesn't suck. Which A is an unpopular opinion, and B it's probably not
unpopular. It's unpopular, but it's the most informed take I've ever heard about it. Like anyone that's like not a fucking idiot this game's gonna slay and make $1 billion fucking dollars, and some people are gonna play it. And I guarantee you, every single one of these little whiny little shitholes, they're gonna download it. You absolutely like. There's no way you guys aren't gonna fucking download it.
But B, it's also probably the worst time optic wise to have like a pro Blizzard opinion. It's like, oh, I love Blizzard games. It's like, oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna downvote that opinion.
Yeah. That's probably more of it than anything.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm a little bit worried that like Blizzard itself is like not going to be a company by the time they could have a next BlizzCon. Like, they're just like, we're taking the Activision name.
I'm currently not playing any Blizzard game at all whatsoever. I'm looking forward to Diablo 2 Resurrected. I plan on playing an ever-living shit out of that. I've already pre-ordered for it, like the special mega hyper deluxe version. I'm going to play the ever-living shit out of it. Other than that, I'm not invested in the Blizzard universe. If things get better, I'm happy for them, but man, part of me just wants to see that shit burn and just watch it from afar.
People are suggesting that like Activision may try to like do a hostile take. I mean, they already did like takeover of Blizzard, basically.
Yeah, they pretty much have. Like anyone that's part of the company that has any type of innovation or like vision or creativity has just been completely ousted.
No, but what I'm trying to say is that like given how toxic the Blizzard brand is right now, they might just try to make it all Activision, make these all Activision properties. But I will say that would be gross. I think that's a little bit of a
they couldn't do it. Like,
yeah, maybe they can't legally, but I also think that'd be far-fetched.
No, it's just like they would lose all. Like, no one would play these games.
Yeah,
this actually goes into another subject though. I did you listen to or look into the earnings call at all for Blizzard?
I didn't, but my stock portfolio told me I should. I don't have Blizzard stock. If I was smart, I would short Blizzard stock, but.
Yeah. So basically, it goes into the different parts of Activision Blizzard. There's basically the Blizzard wing. There's the King Wing, which does like
Gambling
Candy
games?
Crush and
never mind, yeah.
Candy Crush and stuff like that. And then there's like the Call of Duty wing. Basically, the Candy Crush, like their mobile game wing, is basically like half the company. You know, they did like 700 mil profit versus
I'm not surprised
like
about that.
The Blizzard side did like 400 mil, and then like the Call of Duty did like 600 mil. These aren't exact numbers or stuff like that, but it's basically. There's a reason why all these companies go with mobile games. You just make so much money. There's less development time, less bullshit and stuff like that. To the point where they're making, quote unquote, they're making 2 different World of Warcraft or Warcraft World mobile experiences are going to be coming out. We have Diablo Immortal, and it's going to be the future. But it's super fucking scary to see like Candy Crush is what's like carrying their entire company.
Well, Candy Crush has like old people that play it. I guess Blizzard fans are
like
old
my
at this
mom
point.
still plays it.
Yeah, at this point, like you're gonna have like people addicted to WoW for like as a full time, like a career of WoW, just 40 years, 40 hours a week. That's gonna be like.
I know people that like straight up are like, I'm addicted to WoW. Just there's nothing to do in the game right now. So we're all playing Final Fantasy 14, which you should too, because it has a award-winning expansion, free up to level 60. Heaven's Word.
Well. We're not going to be playing New Worlds because that is delayed a month, right?
Well, I think it's so funny. It's like, we're going to boycott Blizzard World of Warcraft and play the Amazon game. Like,
oh my god, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Jeff Bezos he's in space, just like whipping those employees. No, I don't think he has a long enough whip for that.
No, I genuinely am in love with Final Fantasy 14. The dev team is awesome. They're all wonderful people. Like, there's very little drama, and they genuinely love the game.
I mean, I will say, like, there are a lot of people who are being so whiny about the New World's delay. First of all, it's only a month. Get over it.
The longer it takes, the better, in my opinion, because it's just going to be better.
I agree, but at the same time, if a game is delayed a month, that is not going to fundamentally change the experience. They're working on some minor last kinks. And if the game sucks in a month, it was going to suck today anyway, or whenever it's coming out. So Don't worry about it. You're either gonna get like a non-broken GTX 3080 or a shitty game, or I don't know what the choices I was trying to make are. But I feel like people just want drama nowadays, and I want drama too.
Absolutely.
So I understand you have a special segment for us, and I want to be offended. So let me see it.
Wait, what special? Oh, this is what did we offended by? So I bought some shit from Amazon.
I'm offended that you're even like associating yourself with Amazon.
Oh my god, I don't think. Like, I bet you bought more shit from Amazon this week than I did.
Yeah, I actually bought something from Amazon, and unfortunately it didn't arrive yet, but I'll just do a reveal right now. Show up Dana here. I bought the world's spiciest gummy bear, and I plan on eating it and uploading it.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. But what did you get?
So what do you? Let me ask you. I'm gonna give you 5 guesses. We're gonna do 21 questions.
Wait,
okay?
can you do a little bit of package crinkle ASMR into the camera? That actually sounds pretty good. I'm a fan. There we go. All right, I'll add in some Jeopardy music now.
So you have to get like you can do 21 questions. So you can like start with one thing and try to narrow it down. So you have to guess what it is.
All right, is it nerdy?
Yeah, like nerdy is in like electronic, or nerdy is in like.
Is
like,
this nerd
Yu-Gi-Oh?
culture?
No.
Is this technology?
Yes.
Is it related to the podcast?
No.
Is it related
It's
to
3.
gaming?
No.
Is it new SSD? That's my final guess. I'm only doing 5
No,
for
I got one. Like,
I know,
2 weeks
but you
ago.
might have been addicted to the amount of space. Like that's kind of how I was. I had a 250 gig.
What the fuck? No, I've had like a 200 gig hard drive for like 10 years. Like
No,
I'm fine.
but that's the thing. You were in this cramped, tiny room. You were abducted and left in a shed for 10 years, and you finally got out, and you get to see the world for the first time in a very long time, and now you need even more room. You're craving more. You had 200 gigs, you got a terabyte, now you need 30 terabytes.
I'm like upset at how terrible your guesses were. We're gonna open it up and
You
find
said
out
it was
together,
tech. I'm guessing it's like a computer peripheral.
though. No. Well, I guess, but so I got 2.
Did you get the
things.
cat girl headphones?
No, that would be. Oh, that'd be sick. I should have got those. No, I bought iPhone cables.
That's cool. That's the most boring. You made a segment that you bought iPhone cables?
I got more. I got another box, and there's more stuff
Okay.
in here. So they're special cables. Let me show you.
Are they the ones that are ribbed for pleasure?
They're colored.
Yeah, they are ribbed for pleasure. They got the little like felt on them or whatever you call it.
I was gonna get USB like the glowy ones, but like I want to bring them to work and like get a migraine. And then I got another thing. I got a into the floor, a USB hub.
That's cool. I have one of those. Is that Anker?
No, it's
Fuck you.
RSH Tech. It was
Anker
super
gang
cheap.
represent.
It was 5 Gbps, USB 3.0.
Okay, that's cool. Don't rattle off the stats. I'm gonna be honest here.
I don't know what the fuck. Like it's fucking.
It's
gonna
got
be
a
at work,
bunch
so
of
we had.
USBs.
I literally have it for work because our work laptop has 2 USBs, and we need one for speakers and one for mouse, and I need something else to put fucking keyboard and charge my phone. So it's literally the only reason I got it.
Well, congrats.
Now, I have another special one. I will literally like do anything. Like I'll actually give you like 6 guesses. If you can guess what this is, like I will do anything you ask. Literally.
Did I just see the Gucci Mane book go on the ground?
We'll talk about it.
Okay, but is this technology?
No.
Is this food related?
No.
Is this nerd shit?
No.
Is this something for home improvement?
No.
It's a back scratcher. I don't know. I only have 5 guesses.
No, I said you have 6.
Oh, all right. Then it's not a back scratcher. Is it something for personal improvement?
Yes.
It's a back scratcher.
No. That's actually not an awful guess though.
It's in
We're
a
not-
relatively large box for the people who are listen only. The other one was in a much smaller
Yeah,
box.
This is a back scratcher.
Okay, just because it's in a large box doesn't mean it can't take up like 10% of the box. You've seen Amazon packaging.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at it. Feel those box opening sounds.
Should I get to do some box ASMR? Ooh,
Don't
You're gonna get like a good ping.
some take me to the ER. I've chopped off my thumb ASMR. The blood coming out of the hand, just like the liquid curdling.
A bath pillow.
That's cool. Oh, actually, Angela
I
has one
fucking-
of those.
I fucking love taking baths. It's my favorite.
Want to know
thing.
what you need now? You need a bath tray shelf that goes over both sides, so you could like do shit in the bath that doesn't get in the water.
I just hold
Angela
my
recently
phone,
got
and
one.
I'm just like,
No, but I'm gonna send you one of these.
no.
No, oh no, I know you have PTSD. I'm gonna send you a link to one of these.
Okay. I
Jesus
was like,
Christ.
please don't mail me shit.
Yeah, I think I'm cut off after my most recent thing I mailed him. Which, to be fair, I was quite drunk when I did it. We were hanging.
These are cool though, and so I'll let you send your link and then. But Sam sent me some dope shit. Like this is actually cool.
For those who like saw at 1 a.m, I tweeted watermelon and beans. This was around the same time that he got these most recent things. But look at this tray. First of all,
look at this tray. What about this tray?
No, actually, this is not even the podcast. I just want you to see the tray.
Okay. When I used to get stoned, I used to get so fucking high and just like take a bubble bath. It was the best. So Sam sent me something very cool. It's my favorite rapper of all fucking time. For those who don't know, is your boy Gucci Mane. So he sent me the Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness and the autobiography of Gucci Mane.
Yeah, so I was on a flight, I guess. It wasn't even that long of a flight. It was like the DC area to Chicago. It's about 2 hours on the plane. And like I was planning on doing something and I realized that like, yeah, I'm not going to actually be able to get real work done while I'm on this flight because of course I won't. Because, yeah, it's a flight, and flights kind of suck. So I'm like, you know what? What do I have on my phone that doesn't require internet? And as part of that, I realized that I don't have anything on my phone that doesn't require any internet, except I had, like, an e-reader loaded up with a couple books I bought, like, 2 years ago. And one of them was the Gucci Mane autobiography, which, let me tell you, if you are a fan of Gucci Mane, you might get something out of it. I have not read the Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness, and I'm about 75% done.
I'm actually planning, like, this is going to be the first books I have read since fucking high school. Like, literally, like 11 years since I've read a book.
I think the first book I read, well, okay, that's not true. I've actually, I wanted to say, like, the first book I read in a very long time was Balan Wonderworld or whatever, the novelization. But no, I read Capital in the 21st Century by Thomas Piketty, which is like, that's a big boy adult book. That's like the most dry shit ever. And I thought I was like, oh, I hate reading. And then I was like, no, this is just, I get it. Inequality is bad.
I used to love reading. Like I would get in trouble for reading so much, but that's neither here nor there. Do you know what is here or there?
The Gucci Mane Guide to Greatness in your house.
It is there. But speaking of which, have you seen the greatness that Nintendo has been with I guess they've released their like selling totals for like the Switch and like their games and stuff like that. It's actually like unreal. Like it is outsold like the Xbox and PS5 and PS4. Like it's actually quite insane.
Well, of course it's outselling the PS5. Three is worse number than like 1 million. Even if they sold like 4 units, they'd be better than the PS5. But yeah,
it passed the PS3.
Yes.
Yeah, it sold, at 89 million units. That's insane.
I don't know why every single time I look at the Nintendo Switch numbers, I feel like I'm somehow disappointed, even though they're massive numbers. Like it's like what, the third or fourth? It goes PS2, Wii, and then I think the DS family, and then maybe the Switch. I'm not exactly sure in the ordering. People are saying it's gonna hit 100 million units by the end of the year. I could definitely see that, especially with the holiday season coming up. Because
absolutely. There's no.
There
was a Switch shortage. Wait till they come back and people are able to get them.
Yeah, this quarter, it wasn't like there was any like massive holidays that like, hey, happy July 4th, got you a Switch. It's like, I don't think that's how it works. But
it's actually quite insane how many units of some of these games they sold. Like
that's what I was more surprised about
37 million units from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which arguably is one of the best racing games ever made. 33.89 million Animal Crossing New Horizon.
Do you even have Mario Kart?
I don't know.
Yeah, and you don't have Animal Crossing New Horizons, and you don't have the one in third, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which is
24.7.
Do you have Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? Number 4?
I don't know.
You don't have the fourth most? Do you have the fifth most Pokemon Sword or Shield?
I do not.
Wow! You are Mr. Contrarian
But like
here.
the sixth one, Super Mario Odyssey, I do own that. 21 million. Like when you look at it, it's like this is a lot of games sold. Like to get 21 million of a game sold is like insane to me.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I remember I was like listing off like some people have like completely different perceptions on like what a successful game is, and because like I remember like I was talking with someone when the Wii U was failing, and there's like, oh yeah, do you see Mario Maker sold 5 million copies already? He's like, oh, I'm sorry, like they thought that was like a bad failing number. I feel like when you compare
That's
these to a lot of these like Call of Duty type games, those games sell a shit ton of copies. And
Oh yeah, they'll
maybe,
sell like hundreds of millions. Yeah.
yeah. And just like it's cross-platform and I don't know. I feel like some people might not think this is as big of a deal as it is. Like 1 in 2 people basically have Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. Maybe one in a little
Like
bit less
straight
than 1 in
up.
3. But I mean, or I guess like technically there's people who own multiple copies
The
of the game 'cause they're
biggest
insane.
surprising thing for me on this is, for one, Splatoon 2. I guess people love Splatoon, and made the top 10 was Ring Fit Adventure with
I have Ring Fit Adventure.
11.26 million pieces. If I had a regular Switch, I would straight up play that game.
Yeah,
I played it at my
it
friend's
once.
house. It's pretty fucking fun. It is
Getting your
actually
thighs
really fun.
burning.
Oh, dude, I was
getting
like
those
getting
thunder
fucking
thighs?
beat. I was getting beat the fuck up at my friend's house.
Legitimately, I think it would be like I'm not saying that my co-host is fat, but I'm saying if you were trying to lose weight, you would probably
I'm
have
fat as fuck.
I saw this man and I forgot how just like large in stature he was. I'm like, oh, he's my height. He's like,
No,
he
I'm
looks
like,
like me.
I'm like towering over
yeah,
you.
yeah. The thing is, like, we're on this like tiny screen, and I'm like, oh, I take up just as much of the screen, if not more than
And
Dana.
I'm just like,
Yeah, he's like 1/3 of the corner. We got a comment on YouTube calling us out for bad posture, and I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Thank you for the posture advice.
that's why I'm like constantly like,
Yeah, he's like
you should see me when I'm playing games.
Dana
I'm like,
Dana the Hedgehog. He's in a ball. Dude, sick he who has no life cosplay. I love just like referencing that one WoW episode of South Park.
I hate it.
You hate it so much. I mean, the only other games we didn't talk about on this list. I do want to preface that if you ever get like if you're gonna be like one of those people that gets the weird upgrade for Nintendo Switch, which you're not because it's already sold out and no one's gonna be able to get it, and you already are satisfied with your Switch. Blah 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 blah. If you ever are able to play Ring Fit, I think you would have a really fun time, and you would probably be a
It is
better
super
person
fun.
for it.
I've played it. Like it literally makes you want to like strive farther and farther, and it's actually like it's super super fun. I think I plan at some point to get a like upgraded Switch. If they come out with like a Switch 2 or something like that with like better whatever, I'll definitely buy it.
Yeah, I think you probably have at least another year in your Switch Lite before you even consider
definitely.
it. But I just to talk about the other 2 games. Well, I guess 2.5 games. Say Splatoon for me.
Splatoon.
You said it right there. Why you keep saying Splatoon?
Splatoon. I don't know, Splatoon.
I'm just making you feel bad about your mispronunciation. I'm sorry.
Listen, I had extensive speech therapy as a child. Like I couldn't go or sh or like I had to like spend years learning to do that shit.
Well, now I feel like can you roll your R's actually?
No.
Okay, shit. I was gonna say you could do that, and I can't, and I was gonna make you feel better about it, but instead
Like I can go
I just
like I
continue to
couldn't
make you feel
I
like
literally
a terrible
couldn't
person.
make like the sound like at all.
Well, can you? I am trying to think of things I can't do. I'm sorry. It's only rolling R's. We have to talk about the last.
Can you do this? Can you make a fart noise with your knuckle?
I think I did.
I didn't hear it.
Wow, that was
No.
powerful.
That was a real fart.
Yeah, that I'll just dub in like wet ass fart sound, wet fart sounds.
I hope. Yeah, do that.
Just I gotta
Look at Doodles just fucking just like pass the fuck out.
That's pretty dope. I'm gonna. So many shitting yourself sounds are gonna be added in this section.
I hope so.
Oh no, Dana, what happened?
Speaking of shitting yourself,
No, we have to talk.
I gotta show you my snack.
We have to talk about the last 2 games in the top 10. We never talked about
yeah.
Super Mario Party or Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. I don't care about Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee. Sure, it's a Pokemon game. It's a license to sell copies. I'm
not surprised. I'm not surprised by any of these.
No, I'm not surprised that like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Sword and Shield are both in the top 10. I don't. Is that combined sales? I'm assuming so. It's not like
Yeah,
each...
I'm assuming it's combined.
But I'm
because you
surprised,
either
like,
get one or the other.
I'm surprised at the discrepancy. I thought they'd be a little bit closer. I will say the one thing I'm surprised about is not that Super Mario Party sold well. It's that that it's a shell of a game. They could have done so much more. I understand now that they're making a new Super Mario Party or Mario Party in general, where they're
casuals, man. Like Switch is like the best casual system ever made, and like every little kid has one. You got to think like we're older and we only experience it from an older perspective, and we engage in circles that only older people play it. Like there's a whole universe of little kids who play the shit out of this stuff.
No,
that don't engage with online at all.
No, it's. I enjoy Super Mario Party. I think it's a good game. I think that what I'm saying is that considering its popularity, I'm surprised the game was dead on arrival. They didn't do anything with the game.
No, they didn't need to though, because little kids love it.
They didn't need to, but just like the fact that this is so popular, like I'm just surprised they didn't touch it. They touched like Mario Tennis.
You're more surprised from that than like Ring Fit Adventure.
I'm surprised Ring Fit Adventure sold that many copies. I'm not surprised Super Mario Party sold that many copies. I'm surprised for a game as popular as it is, it's one of the only games on this list that didn't receive some sort of massive update at some capacity.
Yeah.
Splatoon 2 got constantly updated for the first couple years of its life. Super Mario Odyssey got its Luigi Balloon mode. Sword and Shield got DLC. Breath of the Wild got DLC. Smash Bros. Ultimate got DLC.
I think the scopes of those games are significantly more than Mario Party, though. I think that's kind of why
the games cost the same.
Nintendo's games never go cheaper.
No, but there are games that are $50 versus like $60 or like $40, whatever. Like the fact that all of these titles, for the most part, I'm not sure. I can't tell you about Pokemon Let's Go.
Oh, I agree. I personally, well, they're super fun if you're like a casual Pokemon fan. But like I think Mario Party is easily the weakest game on that list as far as like good games like that I would personally enjoy.
I think it's
we need to just think about it from like a consumer like you got to think like 2/3 of these numbers are like people under the age of 10.
I guess, but no, I mean, like, it makes sense in that they want to sell you a second game and they're going to sell a shit ton of copies of that too, but I was just disappointed. I felt like every single person that picked up that game said, this is fun, just give us another board. Just give us one more board, and then we'll be happy.
And they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't. That's all I had to do. Instead, there were like 75 Mario Tennis updates. I still haven't gotten Mario Golf. I still don't know. Like, the thing is, that game was like people were super excited for it, and like I even knew a lot of people that were excited for it that just like passed on it. I know there was actually DLC that just released for that too. But yeah, I don't know.
But if you look at it, like new Pokemon Snap sold 2.07 million units, and Mario Golf sold like 1.34 million units. And those games like just came out like that. Those aren't numbers that like shake a stick at.
Yeah, I agree. I think that they're gonna do really well. Actually, I know I've been dissing new Pokemon Snap. Like I guess I probably have like shit talked it like 2 or 3 times afterwards. Like no one remembers this game. This was a forgettable game. I actually played it at a friend's house today, and I had a decent amount of fun. I think it's a game that if you go back to it, it doesn't really lose its allure as much as some of the other games. But I think that a forgettable game in a client like this, a forgettable game in a climate like this is just not something that has staying power, and I feel like that's the issue with Pokemon Snap.
I think it's a game we would enjoy if we were significantly younger. The problem is we just have such little time to do stuff that are like we're not going to spend our like precious free time playing Pokemon Snap. But if like we're a kid or something like that, like we could totally play Pokemon Snap, play this, play that. You know what I mean?
I disagree in that I genuinely think that the Pokemon Snap is something that's easier to get into. Like you do a little session, just do like 1 or 2 little levels.
I guess I was like significantly more hardcore as like a kid with games. So.
Oh yeah, I agree with I agree with your perspective entirely that we just have less time to play games. But I think that of the games we have actually gotten, a Pokemon Snap is one of the easier ones to get back into. But I think the issue for me is that I mean this is something I'm not sure if you could relate to because you're a much bigger Pokemon fan. But like, as I've grown older, I just don't give a shit about Pokemon lore. Don't give a shit about like the world of Pokemon that much. I just like the core gameplay of Pokemon.
It's more so because it's my job. Like I literally like sell Pokemon cards for a living. Like that's literally my job.
Yeah, and I think as part of that, like the Pokemon side games, or not even the Pokemon side, like I don't know, Pokemon just doesn't have as much allure as it used to because I'm not really super interested in the world. And they just announced one new bullshit thing. Like what was the Sword and Shield one? Like gigantic Pokemon or whatever.
Gigantamax, VMAX.
Yeah,
They're cool. They look cool.
They look cool, but like I was just like, yeah, whatever.
The cards for them look significantly cooler than the actual like game ones. I haven't played any of the new games, so I don't know. So
no card is going to be as cool as that Mewtwo card from like the Pokemon movie. Sorry, Mew. Mew.
The Ancient Mew?
The Ancient Mew.
It's a pretty cool card. It's like $30 to $40. Like if it's sealed, you can probably get closer to 75 or 80 for it. But...
I tried finding all my Pokemon cards while I visited home, and I couldn't, and I got sad. They're somewhere.
Well, I'm gonna find your face and punch it. Look at this shit.
The high
quad
quality, dude. Is that cord smoking a blunt? Are you smoking a blunt with the cord? Are you doing a Percy blunt? Are you getting blazed with your cord? Are you gonna leave the call right now? Are you done with me? Are you sad that I even tried to make that shitty joke? Don't. You don't want to see me? Okay.